All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Daily Rundown. If you guys don't know, this is our daily show during the week where we just give you a rundown about what's happening here at WDTV, a little bit about the First at 4 with Holly and Vince, and the 5 o'clock show with Alex, and about what our reporters are doing today. So, but before we get into it, so you guys know, Onovan's been on here, the last couple of days. This is our regular segment with Onovan and Roxanne. Yes. But, and she's a little bit of a baker, a cook, a chef, if you will.
Anything in the kitchen.
Yes. So recently, our news director and I, we went to Buc-ee's. We were down at the AP Awards in Virginia, and we went to Buc-ee's. Lacey, our news director, had never been to Buc-ee's before. I'd only been once before.
I've never been.
You've never been?
Never been.
Okay, well, this is even more interesting then. So while we were there, Lacey and I got some beaver nuggets, and I don't know if, all you that have gone to Buc-ee's have tried this, but they're like, how would you describe them? Like, popcorn. They kind of taste like Captain Crunch to me.
Yeah, like the Captain Crunch plain cereal, not the berries, just the plain ones.
Right.
Or like the pop cereal.
Or like a kettle corn almost. Yeah. Like it's a very kind of sweet puffed corn. But, a lot of us had never had this before. And Onovan actually made her own beaver nuggets.
I did.
So let me see if I can find that.
It was delicious. I will say it's a very time-consuming process, but it was so worth it. Like I already ate over half my pan last night.
See, and I don't know why I don't have the picture up here. I thought I loaded it in here, but I don't have it. But it looks basically exactly like this, guys, minus the Buc-ee's bag, of course.
Yes.
But if you can see on the side there, like it's just puffed corn that is like caramely flavored.
Yes.
And Onovan made her own. So what was the process like making these beaver nuggets? Because I feel like it'd be a lot of work.
No, it's so easy. So the longest part is whenever it's in the oven. But let me start from the beginning.
Okay.
So I got all of my supplies from the Dollar Tree.
I didn't believe him.
So sorry. Go ahead.
So I got all of my supplies from the Dollar Tree.
Okay.
So this is very budget friendly.
Okay.
But I got a bag of puffed corn that was butter flavored. Because the beaver
is
nuggets,
puffed corn popped corn?
No.
Or is it like
it
different?
melts in your mouth. Think of like styrofoam peanuts almost. That.
Okay.
But like more airy.
Right.
I know that's not really a word, but like
yeah,
fluffier.
Right.
So you get a bag of that, brown sugar, butter, and then I used honey because I'm trying to be a little bit healthier.
Right.
But a lot of people use corn syrup. So you take 2 sticks of butter, like a cup of brown sugar, and then I just did whatever my heart desired of honey.
Measure with your heart.
Yes. And then you just melt that down and you let it boil.
It kind of sounds like making Rice Krispie treats almost.
It was like a caramel.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then like you're supposed to add like baking soda or cornstarch to it. I didn't have that, but you're supposed to add that to it and it like puffs up and like
wow.
If you're not careful, it can like overflow the pot and
right.
really bad. But then
did that happen with you?
No.
Okay, good. Yeah.
I was really careful.
Okay, good.
So then you just dump that over top of your puffed corn, mix it all, lay it out flat on a pan, put it in the oven. Every 10 minutes, you're going to pull it out and move them around for 40 minutes.
I mean, it sounds pretty simple, actually.
It is.
So
the worst part was the oven.
Yeah.
Having to take it out every 10 minutes, flip it.
You might have cracked the code with Buc-ee's.
It was so good.
Today.
I will have to bring some in for you guys.
Yeah, here's the thing, guys, is she didn't bring any for the newsroom to try. And she, mentions to me, she calls across the room, Roxanne, did I tell you that I made beaver nuggets? And I was like, Onovan, why would you tell me that and not bring it for us to try? Because that's
I still have some, and like they made the same crunch and everything that beaver nuggets did. It was like,
well, I can't wait for you to make a whole vat of
I still
those
have the supplies at home.
Bring to the newsroom because we're definitely going to need to taste test that
for sure.
And maybe even Holly and Vince could try it on the floor.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be a fun segment. All right, well, moving on from Onovan's cooking adventures, which I'm sure we'll have much more of those.
Yes.
Let's get into a little bit about what's happening today on the 5 o'clock news. So you guys know that we've been following Joseph Nevera's murder trial. So that has been running throughout last week. If you guys aren't familiar with the case, Joseph Nevera was accused of killing Kimberly Osborne in 2024. Throughout last week, we heard a lot of testimony from multiple people involved in the case, or I guess who were testifying in the case, including Osborne's mother and her friend, a couple of law enforcement officials and crime scene specialists involved in the case. And then on Friday, we heard testimony from Nevera's friend, John Claiborne. He recounted a conversation with Nevera where Nevera admitted to Claiborne that he killed Osborne. So let's take a look at that conversation now while he was giving testimony to the court last week.
I killed her. I said, Joe, what do you want? I could tell he was intoxicated by then. I thought he was messing with me. I didn't know what he wanted, because we joke around, but not something like that. I mean, that was kind of serious. And then when they said he's seen the lights of her eyes go out, the light go out of her eyes, I was like, then I knew something was really up. He walked around the corner, off the steps, and opened the back door of his truck.
He opened the door for you?
Yes. To show me her laying in the back, upside down in the back seat. I guess that was the point of it, but it's...
So again, that was when Claiborne was testifying last week, and he has also been charged with accessory after the fact for his part in this crime. But we got new information today about this situation. So after Claiborne testified last week, the Mon County Sheriff's Office has actually arrested a man for setting fire to John Claiborne's camper over the weekend. So on your screen now is 53-year-old David DeWalt. He has been charged with first-degree arson and retaliation against a witness. Police say the fire was reported at Claiborne's camper on Old Rock 13 Road in Morgantown just after midnight on Saturday. And Claiborne told police that prior to testifying, he had received threats from DeWalt, including DeWalt coming to his camper with a gun. So after these threats, police placed security cameras on Claiborne's property, which captured footage of DeWalt at the property before the fire was set or reported. And DeWalt admitted to being the person in the security footage, but has so far denied setting the fire. So he is held in the North Central Regional Jail, bond set at $80,000. And again, this fire happened after John Claiborne testified last week. And we don't know exactly how this is going to play into the Joseph Nevera case. Of course, that's still going on this week. Our reporter Carrington has been keeping us updated with that, so she'll have more information about testimony today. And I think she's actually already headed back from court, so she'll have a lot of information for us this evening and then tomorrow as the trial continues. So up next, Onovan, if you want to tell us about tomorrow, because tomorrow is the last day to register to vote, actually. So if you want to tell us a little bit more about that.
So tomorrow, Tuesday, April 21st, is the last day for West Virginia residents to register to vote or to update their current voters registration for primary election day on May 12th. Registration can be done in person at the county clerk's office prior to the closure of the courthouse on Tuesday. It is noted that some close at 4 and some close at 4:30. You can also register online by going to govotewv.com. And I think Roxanne's did you show us how to do that?
Yeah, so let me pull up this browser for you guys, and I have the GoVoteWV website up here so you can see a little bit more about how to do that. So if you scroll down in this website, and it might be a little bit hard to see here, but where this yellow one is right next to it, it says register to vote or update your registration. So this first blue section under these online tools, so you just click there. And then under this section, you can see a couple of different buttons to push, but that first green button there, it says register to vote or update my voter registration online. So you just click that, and there it'll just ask you a couple of questions, including if you're a citizen, if you are at least 17 years of age, if you'll be 18 by the next election. So again, that's May 12th, and more about, if you've ever been convicted of a felony, etc. So you just fill out that little sheet right there, and you can register to vote. Again, that's by tomorrow, so you still have, a little bit of time before that voter registration's due. So you can do that online. You can go to your county clerk's office to do that. So guys, don't forget to do that. That'll be the last day that you can register before this primary election. So
nice to know.
Right. Yes. So if you don't know, if you're registered to vote, like we talked about last week with Onovan, you can also check that there. So an important reminder, right, before May 12th. So let's move on now to some national news that has been going on this past weekend. So we're going to turn now to shooting in Louisiana. 8 children are dead after a shooting in Shreveport, Louisiana on Sunday morning. So according to local police, 31-year-old Shamar Elkins shot his wife before going to another home where he shot and killed 8 children, 7 of whom were his own children, and their ages ranged from 3 to 11 years old. And police say Elkins' wife had severe injuries after he shot her in that first home, but it's unclear her state at this time. Elkins then fled the scene after the shootings and led police on a chase into a neighboring parish where he was shot and killed by officers during the pursuit. And police are saying that this shooting was domestic in nature, and CNN stated that this is the nation's deadliest mass shooting in more than 2 years. So I know our 5 o'clock producer, Cameron, will have a little bit more information on that in the 5 o'clock show tonight. If you guys want more details on, the timeline of events, a little bit more of what happened there. Obviously, a really tragic event over the weekend, but, something that's making national headlines today, obviously, just because of the nature of the event there. Moving back to our shows here, though, Onovan, if you want to tell us a little bit more about what our reporter Nick is doing this evening.
So Nick will be at the WVU self-defense training. It is held by the West Virginia University Police. It is open to students, faculty, staff, and the Morgantown community members. They are all invited to join. The training is called Protect. It's an immersive training that uses hands-on demonstration to provide participants with skills needed to recognize a threat, escape an attack, and to get to a safe place to call for help. Participants will learn striking techniques, takedowns, and escape holds, and will gain information on developing situational awareness. I think this is truly awesome. I wish that something like this would come a little bit closer to us.
Yeah.
Just because, Morgantown's not far, obviously, but...
Right. Well, especially like if you're working in Bridgeport and depending on when the training starts. Right. But it's a great opportunity, I think, for, students and community members to be able to have that, training available to them. Because I don't think Morgantown is a particularly, dangerous city, but it is a college town. There are a lot of people out late at night, and you just never know. It's good to have opportunities to ways to protect yourself in any situation.
Well, yeah, and they mentioned situational awareness, which is good, not just for being attacked, but just to keep your eyes peeled for anything.
In general, right? Absolutely. Did you ever take any self-defense classes or anything?
I wish I would have. I've learned a little bit throughout college. But nothing.
Yeah. My brothers took Taekwondo when they were younger. They both, my oldest brother actually got up to 3rd degree black belt.
Wow.
He was he was an MMA fighter too and stuff like that. He's very into things like that, but I guess my parents never required me to take that with them.
But did you learn anything from them?
No. But I wish that I had, now being older, not that I've really had to use those skills, but
it's nice to have.
Right. I think you feel more comfortable. You feel more just confident in yourself, So it's great to see that, the university police are taking this initiative and offering things like this. I know there's a couple of different trainings they offer, and you can even sign up with a group, I think. So if it's not this one is scheduled for people to sign up, but I think if you have a group of people who you're all interested in it, you can ask them to hold one just for your group. So
which would be nice because you're comfortable with everyone there.
Right, absolutely.
I wish Fairmont State would do something like that.
Yeah,
cool.
Totally. And maybe there are other, classes that we're not aware of, but Nick will be at this one tonight, so he'll have more about, how that's going and the opportunities there. So
yes.
Well, let's turn to the first at 4 now. You guys, always have exciting things going on. So what's on the docket for today for you guys?
We have running robots.
Okay. Just
I don't want to give too much away. Running robot.
Always Onovan is let me tease you with a little bit of information about what's going on. She doesn't want to give away the whole story.
We're talking about bears.
Okay.
Speaking of bears, my boyfriend had a run-in with a bear while he was literally running on trails one time.
Recently or
Like a year or two ago, we were at the beach.
There was a bear at the beach?
Yes.
Why
so
does
he
that
was
feel
running on
that shouldn't
I know, because when he told me about this, I was like, what are you talking about?
Right.
But yeah, he ran into it, no phone, no nothing. He didn't have any way to contact anybody. He just had to hope for the best.
So what happened?
he just like kept going. I don't know. I wasn't out there because
Oh my gosh.
he loves to run like miles
Yeah.
and miles. I can't. And it's
Yeah.
just early in the morning, so like I didn't even know where he was.
Oh my gosh.
But I just
And
thought that was a fun
what,
little
he
thing to
like
mention.
saw a bear like in
Yeah.
the distance, or like it was close
It
to
was
him?
close.
Oh my gosh, that's so scary.
I would be terrified.
Yes.
And then he's always like, "Let's go do this outside." I'm like, "No."
You're like, there might be bears there because there was a bear on the beach. So
Literally,
like
it was
we're not-
terrifying. It's
Oh
somewhere
my
where you
gosh.
wouldn't like. I wouldn't expect one to be there.
Right,
The beach is like a
no.
safe place. To me, not somewhere where
Absolutely.
bears are.
My parents live in like kind of out in the wilderness in Colorado. Not out in the wilderness, but their town is very small. It only has like 200 people. And there was a bear like in their neighborhood, and my mom would like send me pictures of it like out on their driveway, and I'm
Terrifying.
like, I don't think that I don't trust that. Like, you guys need to stay inside,
Too close
stay
for comfort.
safe. Right. They have 2 dogs, and like,
Mm-mm.
you know, the dogs are going crazy every time they see a bear, and I'm like, well, don't let those dogs outside.
Yeah, you
because-
better be checking your property before you
I
let the
know,
dogs out.
exactly. So, okay, so bears on the first floor. Anything else like exciting that you guys are doing today?
Like I said, just the running robots. There's like I
Mhm.
watched the video that goes along with it. There's a really funny part in it that had me and Dave
Okay.
laughing super
Dave
hard.
works upstairs in our
Yes.
building, guys. He's not part of the newsroom,
No.
but he's part of the team.
Yes. No, he was laughing really, really hard. And then we also have our favorite segment of Baloney or Believe It.
Okay, and you're hosting today?
I am.
Okay.
There is
Amazing.
not a specific topic
Theme?
per se. No,
Okay.
I just went crazy. I'm really trying to trick Vince so Harley can get a
Ooh.
win.
I like how it's like you're against Vince.
Well, yeah, I gotta let Holly win. I'm a girl's girl. What can I
She's
say?
a girl's girl. Absolutely.
And then we also have 8 special guests coming today.
Wow.
Yes,
I feel like that's a lot. For the
Yes.
first of 4.
there will be 8.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous to get everyone round up, but
Yeah.
it'll
It's
be
okay.
fun.
Somehow you guys will manage.
It'll be
There-
fun. It'll
the
be a good
first of
show.
4, magic happens every day.
Yes.
I'm not sure how it gets on air, but you know, we get there and it's wonderful and fabulous.
It's
So
always a blast.
yes, and Onivan's a good wrangler, so I can't wait to see you wrangle 8 guests all at once. That'll
Kids at that.
oh, 8 kids. So
Yes.
that'll be fun to see. All right. Well, I think that's all we have for you guys today. Anything else exciting going on in your world? Other than the beaver nuggets, which again, let me remind everyone that she did not share with the newsroom. So
I also didn't share my homemade buffalo chicken mac and cheese with the newsroom.
you guys, like, come on. I told everyone that Onivan just needs to be our personal chef.
Yes.
So maybe she won't be producing the 4 anymore. She'll be the personal chef of the newsroom.
I've literally like offered to bring in food to people too, and they're like, "No, it's okay.
I will take it every time. I don't care what anyone else says. If you bring it for me, that's good enough.
I'll have to start recording it so we can."
Right. All right, everyone. Well, that's all we have for you guys today, and we will see you again tomorrow afternoon.